Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here then hi, my name's Millie. I am very much still in my pyjamas. I have cat ears on my hood, but that is absolutely not relevant to that video apart from the fact that I am just getting ready for my day. I am already a long way down my coffee. I already have my skincare on, so let's just dive straight on in. I'm going to be using the Collection Filter Finish today. I figured out a new way to apply this that I prefer. So until like 3 days ago, I had been applying this with my hands, and that's fine, but I have like a problem, I suppose. Like texturally applying products with my hands, I just find it really off-putting. I really don't like it. But I have found a brush that I really like applying this with. It gives a really nice finish. It applies it really nicely. It spreads it out really well. So I apply this the same way all over my face. And then I use this brush here that I actually got free from a Revolution order that I did. So it doesn't say what it is, it just says Revolution Pro on it, but it's like one of these duo fibre ones, so it has like longer bristles and shorter bristles. I think it's a synthetic haired brush, but I just find that it blends everything out really nicely, spreads it out really well, and gives a really nice finish. Obviously doesn't soak up too much of that product, because I didn't want to have to use a sponge. I didn't want to have to apply this with a sponge, because on an everyday basis I don't want to be like having to go and wet my sponge and then come back and start applying my makeup. I just want to be able to use what I've already got on my table. I'm just too lazy for that first thing in the morning. So I find that this works really well. For concealer, I'm going in with the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I've been using this more and more recently since it's been getting a bit warmer. I like the more matte finish, like down the centre of my face. And this colour is just perfect for me at the minute. This is the shade Fair 5. I find with this concealer as well, with lots of the concealers that I use on an everyday basis, but especially this one, you can apply a really small amount and blend it right out, so you just get a light wash of coverage and colour, just to sort of brighten without it looking too heavy or cakey or textured. So you can see that that's just sort of knocked back the redness in my cheeks a little bit, but doesn't feel like anything. Still looks really nice and glowy. I'm not bothering too much with these spots and things that I've got down here. I have mentioned before, I generally I don't try and cover them on like an everyday basis. I wear a mask at work anyway, not that I'm at work today, it's just a day at home today, but I do generally just like to leave them. They'll heal quicker that way if I just leave them alone, and you can't see them under my mask anyway. So carrying on the glowy train, I'm using my Kiko bronzer today. This is the Lost in Amalfi Baked Bronzer in shade 01, and it's got a really nice like subtle shimmer running through the colour, and I find that it just warms up the skin so nicely. So I'm just applying this really lightly, just to add a little bit of colour, but nothing too much. This is a really good bronzer if you find you sometimes go overboard, because I definitely do, because it's such a fine like powder, and because the colour isn't too intense, it's just beautiful. Like you can see, it just looks like my skin's been warmed up a little bit, but it's not too much. And I did just take that brush sort of over my eyelids as well, just to get a little bit of colour on there, and it all just makes it look really cohesive when you do that, because it's the same colour that you've got on your cheeks and then it's in your eyes as well, so that just looks really nice and glowy and beautiful. But because that's a matte concealer in the centre of my face, I'm not going to powder it, but I know that that will stay really nicely all day, and it's just a little bit, it knocks the glow back a little bit, you know. For blusher, I'm going in with this one, which is new. I've tried it a few times. This is the Revolution Cheeky Blush Shot in the shade Pink. It's a really interesting texture. It's really, really liquidy. It just feels like water on the skin. Now, I love a liquid blush. I love anything like that that will add a little bit more hydration into my skin rather than using a powder. My problem with this is that because it's on that strange little applicator, like that's what it looks like. So you have to like dab this little sponge onto your skin. Because it's like that, I don't know, I worry about working quickly with it, which of course I can do, that's not a problem. I don't know if I would just prefer this product to be in a tube that you can squeeze out, like the super dewy blushes that I love. I just wonder if that would be easier. Like if I was using this over foundation, I worry that that sponge would pick up the products that I already had on. I don't know, I haven't tried that yet, so I don't know if that is what would happen, but I really like the formula of the actual blush. The colour's really pretty. It's not too pigmented, but it's just pigmented enough, you know, that sort of balance that sometimes quite difficult to find. I just feel like the packaging is a bit gimmicky. Like they're hoping that people will buy this because of that sponge applicator, which, I mean, it works because that's why I bought it. But is it any better applying it with that sponge than just straight out of a tube like the super dewy ones? No, I think I probably prefer the super dewy ones for that application process, if that makes sense. But the colour's really pretty. I do really like the colour. I do really like the product. Just the sponge feels a little bit unnecessary to me. That's what it is. It just feels unnecessary. So I picked out a highlighter to wear today, but I don't think I need it. So I'm going to put that one to the side and go on to my brows. I'm doing a different brow today. I haven't done this one before, so we'll see how this goes. This is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter with the Collection Incredible Brow Define Plus. This is in Brunette 2, and this is clear. So that's the brow pencil through. Honestly, I just thought it's about time I use something different, isn't it? Otherwise, you're just going to get sick of me using the Wow Brow all the time. So let's see how this fluffs. I do generally like a tinted brow gel. Okay, they're spiked, they're fluffy. I like how that looks. I wonder how it would look with the e.l.f. Wow Brow over the top though. I'm not going to use it today, but I think that might be quite good to fluff them and sleek them up, and then with the e.l.f. Wow Brow to like build them up. I'll give it a go next time. Mental note, I will give that a go next time. So for the eyes, I recently did a big Beauty Bay order. I wanted more like eyeshadowy products. I just felt like I was in a bit of a rut with like my eyeshadow products that I was using all the time, and there was a few things that I wanted to pick up. So I did a big order basically just of lots of different eyeshadows, and this was one of them. This is the Revolution, oh no, it doesn't say on it what it is. Oh, I've still got the packaging here. The Revolution Shadow Sticks Soft Glamour Shimmer Eyeshadows. You got 3 in the pack, and I don't know which shade this is, but this is like a bronzy, golden, warm shade, and I used this yesterday and I really, really liked how it looked, so I wanted to use it again. They're so creamy, but they're not too like overly pigmented. Honestly, I'm just using like the tip of the pencil. I'm running that like through my crease, and then the side of the pencil is going onto the lid, and it's just applying the most perfect amount of colour with a really slight shimmer. My problem yesterday was that I just did this and then went. Whereas I think today I'm going to sort of set this with my bronzer, because that's already metallic. It's not metallic, it's like luminous. So I think that would work quite nicely, because it did just sort of slip and slide and crease on my eyelids throughout the day yesterday. So we'll see how that goes. So I'll just take a big fluffy brush and go into my bronzer and sort of tap over that and blend out the edge. Yes, I feel like that's just set it down a little bit. So can you see the difference where this just looks wet, because it is. This is still a very wet, tacky product. This one still has that shimmer, but it's set down, and I don't think that will move now. I'll leave in the description box down below by the end of the day what this looks like. Okay, so now I've got all of that warmth on the eyes. I feel like I need more bronzer, so just with the same one, I'm just gonna add a bit more warmth into the skin. I feel like it's sort of that backwards and forwards, isn't it? When you're doing your makeup, you need to like apply one layer and then see how everything is. Don't just move on to the next step. You need to be constantly like seeing what you actually need rather than just thinking, yeah, that's done, and move on to something else. Okay, so looking at my eyes, I feel like I need an inner corner highlighter just to brighten that up a little bit. So this is the highlighter that I was going to use on my face. This is the I Heart Makeup Goddess of Love Triple Baked Highlighter, and I've really been liking this recently. So I'm just going to take that on a really small brush and honestly apply a very, very large amount onto that inner corner. Yes, that's better. I feel like that inner corner highlighter just wakes up my face. I feel like that makes the biggest difference on me. Some people I know hate the inner corner highlighter, but honestly I don't think that I look like myself without it. For mascara, I am so close to being like empty with this, and I think I will probably repurchase it. This is the Maybelline Sky High mascara. It is past its best. It's a little bit too thick, but I can still feel that there's product in there, so I'm just trying to use it up. I feel like I've used up a few mascaras in the last couple of weeks. It's definitely time for a few new tubes to get me through the next couple of months, but this is a really good one. The brush is really, really nice. It's really lengthening. It lasts really well all day. I have just got that all under my eye. Go in a minute and clean that off. So you can see that mascara is really, really like lengthening, and it's a really, really beautiful mascara. I do really, really like that. So then, because it's all quite neutral, I wanted to use more of a colour on my lips. I don't know if this one will necessarily go, but we're gonna try it anyway. This is the Kiko Creamy Lipstick in the shade 01. I thought this had a name. I'm sure it had a name on the website, but it just says 01. I think it's like Rosy something, or is that the other Kiko one I have? I don't know. This is another one that I keep in my handbag, so if I ever need to like top up on the go, because it's so like small and compact, and because it's got the tip, you don't need to like have a lip liner or anything. It's a really good on the go application lipstick. I really, really like it. I think I've got something in my eye. Ugh. I know I literally just said you don't need a lip liner, but I'm going to just go over it with my favourite, use it every single day, Rimmel Exaggerate lip liner. Is that better? I don't feel like that's really made very much difference at all. But that will do. It feels really comfortable. That lipstick is so like creamy and comfortable. Has my hair been slipping off the top of my head this whole video? How annoying. I do apologise. That's better. Hair as big as my dreams, honestly. Oh. So, that is me. Done. I feel really like glowy and dewy and juicy, despite the fact I don't actually have a highlighter on. I feel like my skin looks really, really nice. That combination of products has worked really well, but I'm still like matte in the centre, so it's not too much, you know? Yeah, I'm happy with that. I hope that the eyeshadow stays put better than it did yesterday. I will leave in the comments and the description box down below how this looks by the end of the day, but it feels better than it did when I applied it yesterday. It just creased and smudged, and because it's such a smooth liquidy formula, it's just like it didn't set, but this feels better. It feels better today with that bit of bronzer over the top of it to set it down. So that is me done. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe. There's new Everyday Makeup Monday videos coming every single Monday. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye.